Hi, and welcome to today's 4-Minute Mark. We are in Mark chapter 3, and we're starting to read at verse 7. Jesus withdrew with his disciples to the lake, and a large crowd from Galilee followed. When they heard all he was doing, many people came to him from Judea, Jerusalem, Idumea, and the regions around the Jordan and around Tyre and Sidon. Because of the crowd, he told his disciples to have a small boat ready for him, to keep the people from crowding him. For he had healed many, so that those with diseases were pushing forward to touch him. Whenever the evil spirits saw him, they fell down before him and cried out, "You are the Son of God." But he gave them strict orders not to tell who he was. A couple things here. The crowds will not stop Jesus from ministering. Remember, we saw that he couldn't go into towns anymore because he'd be mobbed. So he went to a deserted place, but the crowds would follow him. So the crowds were still ministered to in the context of a wide open space, if you will, not in a crowded town. And Jesus had a boat ready so that if the people were pressing against him too much, he could back up, get in the boat, go out on the water, and preach from there. And by the way, water is a great carrier of sound. As some of you know who go up to the lakes, or if you've been on a river, and particularly if the water is calmer that day, sound really carries over water. So Jesus had basically a natural microphone. Notice it says that Jesus went with his disciples. We don't know how many of those were. We're going to get to the 12 in a minute, but basically there were more than the 12 that followed Jesus. There were even women that followed Jesus that were included in that company of disciples. And Luke, the Gospel of Luke talks about that. Notice once again, Jesus is giving the demons instruction, do not tell anyone who I am, and the demons have to obey. Can you imagine giving a demon instructions and the demon has to obey you? Who's more powerful, Jesus or the demons? Obviously, it's Jesus. I'm going to read on about the calling of the 12 here. Jesus went up on a mountainside and called to him those he wanted, and they came to him. He appointed 12, designating them apostles, that they might be with him, and that he might send them out to preach and to have authority to drive out demons. These are the 12 he appointed: Simon, to whom he gave the name Peter, James, son of Zebedee, and his brother John. To him he gave the name Boanerges, which means sons of thunder. Andrew, Philip, Bartholomew, Matthew, Thomas, James, son of Alphaeus, Thaddeus, Simon the Zealot, and Judas Iscariot, who betrayed him. As I said, there were crowds that followed Jesus, and there were disciples that followed Jesus, but now Jesus is singling out 12. They are going to be his handpicked men. They are going to basically live with Jesus, and Jesus is going to instruct them, and Jesus gives them authority, just as Jesus gives us power today to go out and keep carrying on his mission. He gave these 12 men authority to go out and act in his name. And it's quite an interesting mix of people here. You've got the fishermen, of course, but you've also got Matthew, who was a tax collector who worked for Rome, and you've got Simon the Zealot. That means that Simon belonged to a political party of the Jews that wanted to take arms against Rome. So you've got an ex-tax collector and somebody who hates Rome, but yet Jesus brings them together. Even today, Jesus can bring together people who have widely different opinions, but they come together centered on their love for Jesus. Okay, that's it for today. Happy Easter. We'll see you on Monday. Bye-bye.